Here's a preview of Deadman's Castle by Iain, one of the Silver Birch Fiction Award nominees for 2022. Here's the first chapter. The policeman looked like a grizzly bear. He had little black eyes and a nose like a snout, and shoulders as wide as the doorway. He just squeezed sideways into the kitchen, carrying a long gun that he placed on the table. Then he sat down beside it, took off his hat, and didn't move again until morning. He came again the next day, and every day through all of November, always arriving just before dark. Nobody told me why he was there, but as a boy, only 5 years old, a kid in kindergarten, I was thrilled to have a policeman in the house. I stared at his badge and his gun, hoping he would invite me to touch them. But he spoke only to me once, in a bear-like growl as I went up to bed. Sleep tight, kid. Don't let the bed bugs bite. We moved away at the end of the month. I didn't know why. We went in such a hurry that I couldn't say goodbye to my friends. So suddenly that we left nearly everything behind, including, I imagined, my policeman. Months later, I still pictured him sitting all alone through the night in our kitchen. We drove for many days over mountains and prairies to a little green house that smelled of cats. On our first night there, my father sat me down and said, "We need to have a talk." I thought I was in trouble. On a creaky old sofa that was fuzzy with cat hair, I cuddled up beside Mom. "We think it's time for you to learn a few things," said Dad. He stood in front of us looking down. "A few months ago now, I saw someone do a terrible thing, so I went to the police and—" "What did you see?" I asked. "Shh," said Mum. She put her arm around me. Dad started again. "I went to the police and told them what I saw, and now a very bad man is coming after us." "Why?" "He wants to get even." Mom pulled me closer like she was trying to protect me. The springs in the sofa made a squeaking sound. Dad kept talking. "He'll try to find out where we live, and if he does—" Dad never finishes the sentence. I saw that he was nearly in tears. He started over, maybe hoping not to scare me. "Well, from now on," he said, "I want you to keep your eyes peeled. Watch for a man with a lizard tattoo on his skin." "What if I do see him?" I asked. "Run," said Dad. "Scream for help. Do whatever it takes, but never let him catch you." We changed our names and started over as a new family. Then, just as I was getting used to that, we moved again, and then again and again. Wherever we went, that bad man was close behind us, and year after year we ran like rabbits, in a field, dashing here and there, always in a panic. He chased us from Oregon to Florida, from Iowa to Idaho. I imagined him in 1,000 ways, now with the lizard clinging to his shoulder, a green tail coiled around his neck, now with the painted Godzilla standing in flames on his chest. Sometimes his whole body was one giant tattoo with green scales all over him, and sometimes he was more of a monster than a man, a slithering thing with claws instead of fingers. I called him the Lizard Man, and for 6 years I lived in fear of him. Every night I dreaded going to sleep because he even chased me in my dreams. That's the first chapter of Deadman's Castle. If you check it out, I'd love to hear what you think. And there are 9 other selections. So I'd also like to know what you think about them. And then you get to pick your favorite in May. So get started. Maybe you can do all 10.